Well, hey everyone, so excited about doing this live with you. I know everybody has been watching people do a faux shiplap on the wall. Here is our bundle offer tonight that we're going to be turning on in just a moment. There is a limit of 500 people who can check out using this fantastic deal. Stay with us. I want you to see this entire process and how fun this is and how anyone can do this. We're going to start out here with our color that's already been painted on the wall, and that's our color called Oyster. You can have multiple of colors on your wall. It wouldn't really matter, but we're going to show you how to use some neutral colors. First thing you need to do to get started, I'm going to give you some quick and easy tricks to make this so simple. Use this little wood filler. This is a pink one. If you have places in your wall, that's the first thing you need to do to prep, is to get those covered up. And I'm gonna try to get the lid off of this. We're gonna be sharing with you a great bundle offer during this live. So stay with us. If you like what we're doing here, you may love this, and this offer is gonna be tremendous. This is a great product to use to fix any little nail holes or any little spots that you have in the wall. And the reason I like it is it's pink. I don't have to worry about sanding it, and I can tell you when it's dry. Can you see that pink dot? And the measuring stick is going to be miserable to try and paint all these lines straight on the wall. You can already see I have some pencil lines on this wall behind me. You see those already there? And I did that making a decision of how wide or how thick I want my wood look to be along the wall. Found me something that I'm going to use. This is a little drawer front. And I like the height of this. I want my wood planks to be wider. You can make yours 6 inches, 8 inches, whatever it is you choose. This one's probably about 8 inches, I'm guessing here. And I use this to start the process of marking my wall. And the way I did that is I always go to the top. You want your first whole piece at the top to start off the process. And if there is a half of a one, it would be at the bottom of the wall, so it wouldn't show necessarily with furniture in your room. And once you put it all back together, you'll only see that occasionally, that it maybe didn't make a whole one at the bottom. You could also measure your wall, find out what's the best dimension that you have from top to bottom, and just start marking off the wall. I used a pencil, and the reason I used a pencil is I want to be able to paint over these lines. I'm going to try to leave them there as just kind of a guideline when I start putting on the paint in just a moment. But I wanted to just kind of get started using this little lead pencil. And I just went to my starting at the very top of the wall, placing this on the wall, just starting with a mark here and a mark here at the bottom, just carrying on all the way down until I got my spacing correct. Using, again, something easy to manage that's hard. You can use a book. You can use whatever it is you find that you like the height of, and then use that as your little reference points along the wall. The next thing I did today, you might have saw me at Lowe's. I went over to Lowe's and I got myself a 4-foot level. This is a $10 item because it's made out of fiberglass. It's not expensive. I went then to my wall and marked on those marks that I just made using my guide. I pulled this mark starting in about the center of my wall and started creating my lines and moved all the way up the wall. And then of course I'm carrying it fully left and fully right. Now I'm ready to go. I can paint straight without losing my mind trying to put this paint on. My little cheater lines on the wall already. There's 3 colors that we're using of the antiquing gel, and that's going to give you that semi-transparent, translucent look versus what everybody else is doing it with solid paints. This is much easier, it blends easier. Using the Syntec brush, that's also in the bundle. I'm starting off with Oil Rub Black, and of course, if you just caught this starting off, this is our color Oyster on the wall. You can start with any number of colors. So you see my little cheater lines. I'm going to start right here in the middle just so you can kind of get the gist of this, okay? And just start swiping on. This is, again, Oil Rub Black. Now, this is going to be the strongest of the colors, and that's okay. If you want this strong intensity, do that. But take the swipes where you feel like you can paint the line, the straight. Don't extend past that, because getting the line straight is going to be real important to making this convincing, okay?
That's why we did the cheater lines.
Yeah, the cheaters would not happen with this ain't happening. I'm going to use vintage brown, and that's going to tone this, and that's going to give us that little bit of warmth. Vintage brown, that's going to give us, again, that nice warmth, and that's going to give us the feeling of wood. And we're going to go right over that wet. Now, you could go over it dry too, but I'm just going to go over it wet, just what you see. It's going to look like a real mess at this moment. So,
it does.
And last here is going to be our whitewash antiquing. I'm going right over the wet. Now this is where the pretty part was going to come in. This is going to begin to tone it and soften it, and that's going to make it look very more like it's faded and become more of a wood feel to it. Now every board is going to be different because we're going to pick up and go down through here and do another swipe, and you can make it lighter and darker, and you just keep varying this out. So again, don't get it too overextended and paint too far out, because you're going to lose your line and you're going to not paint straight. The trick is getting it straight. All right, this will be our backdrop here, so if this is awful, y'all will get to see it often. Opposite. I'm gonna start with the white because I want to make this one lighter and instead of getting darker. Okay, that might be a way you're gonna vary this so you don't get too heavy with each one. So every board will have a different look. And you can do this for, again, the bundle is now half off. It's $59.99. That's going to get you the brush and 3 pints of this, and this product goes a long way. Semi-transparent. They're not opaque. They're not going to act like a paint, and they're not going to begin to dry. They're going to stay open and wet longer, so that's going to let us move it around a lot quicker. So don't panic. It's going to look better.
They're wondering how big of a wall will this kit?
Oh my goodness, this is going to do.
So we're
doing. This is at least 12 feet long by 8 feet tall. So this is going to do probably 2 of these. So maybe more. I mean, it depends on how much you put on, but this goes a long way. It takes a very little product.
Deb Harrington, you were asking about your 24 by 8 wall. So this one kit should do that.
I'm putting on there, that's what I'm dipping in right there. That's how much. So I'm just barely wetting the ends of it. That way I don't just have a lot of big glob. Okay, so here's my little brush. I'm using just a tiny liner brush to create these lines. Once this is good and dry, you can use a Sharpie. I don't like the Sharpie as much because it leaves a hard, harsh line. I like this one because it's going to allow me to create the line. It's going to allow me to do it with the antiquing gel and blur it just a little bit. And I'll show you how, okay? So I'm going to use the Aura Black because we've got this deep, dark color here. I'm going to try best to find my line, which I believe I can detect it.
I'm going to let her go a little bit wide, and then I'll come in closer for you guys.
Okay, are you there with me?
I'm with you.
Okay, let me scoot this down a little bit. Getting on my line as much as I can possibly see it.
I think you need to go up
there.
right
All
there. Yep.
Okay, so now I've got my brush loaded up, and I'm just going to come in here and just kind of roll the brush. Just going into the lid, pushing it in there, and just rolling it, spinning it, meaning just turning it like that in my hand.
We're going to come up close here in a second.
I'm
you can show us better.
it all the way. Just letting it lay right on the metal. Now, can you use that Sharpie and get this quicker? Yes, you can, but you got to let this dry before that'll happen.
And Paula's just using the little bit of Oil Red Black that's on the lid so that she's not getting a ton.
Not at all. I'm not dipping it in there. I'm just letting it here. So that's what you're going to get. You're going to get this hit and miss look, and that I don't want necessarily. I want it to hit a little more right there in the middle. Hang on. And I like this fat and thin line. There you go. That's the pretty little line you want right there. So faux real, and she
I like it faux fake.
She liked it full faux fake. I like mine faux real.
You can still get it accomplished with the same.
It's cute. I like it. I like it. What do you think?
Mary Lee says this definitely makes her want to paint.
Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? How quickly that come together. Just add something to your room. You know, if you got a small area and you want to doll it up some. and you can do it. So if you enjoyed this, please share this to your timeline, and we would so much appreciate that. And get in on the bundle, and 500 of you, I don't know how many's checked out already, but it is set to 500 to get this bundle. And if you miss this one, maybe you'll get one later on in the week. Something else we'll be doing. Hope you all have a great evening, and we'll see you right here tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. See you. Good night.